Soulcalibur 6, I just figured something out that I could have done a while ago. Thieves have been stealing from a black pepper farm, and I accepted a request to apprehend them. I waited quietly in the field for a few hours before I heard several sets of footsteps approaching. As I stood up to challenge them, one suddenly attacked me from behind. I might not end up sleeping tonight, and I kinda really should.
You won't survive this! KO! Battle 2. Fight! I'll prevail! Now's my time, you!
I swear, most of the time this second sword is just for show. I delivered the thieves to the farm's owner. They were in fact laborers who had worked there. The owner was clearly pleased and gave me a generous amount of expensive spice. Why did multiple missions just disappear because I did that? I was strolling along the harbor, gazing out the peaceful sea, when I heard quarreling coming from one of the piers. Old man, give the map already. You should not be so eager for death. Shut up already, unless you want me to take that map off your corpse. I searched for the source of the shouting and saw a large, burly man threatening an elderly gentleman. It seemed that the burly man had noticed me, and he turned to glare in my direction. Who are you? You looking for the treasure too, huh? Please, young one, move along. You shouldn't get involved with this man or me. The elderly gentleman seemed surprisingly calm, but I couldn't let this ruffian threaten a defenseless old man. I readied my weapon.
Battle 1. Fight! I can do this!
I still somehow hit him there.
Showdown!
Oh shit, it's one of those camera angles.
What?
I like it when that shit happens.
Ring out! Battle 2. Fight!
Jesus Christ, people, why can't they leave me alone?
I can do this! Try again! What? Try again! What? No mercy! Stop! Can't take this! KO!
This guy again? I completely forgot when I let out my dog here. Damn you! I'll remember this, you hear me? You get what's coming to you. The man fled into town, cursing me as he went. Thank you, young one. I tend to get harassed by scoundrels like him quite often because of... well, you aren't interested in that. Normally I let them scream and shout, then turn the tables on them if they grow violent. I asked the old man why people were after him. A long time ago, my friends and I braved an ancient ruin in search of fabulous treasures. The price I paid for my foolish courage was my leg, and the lives of all my friends. The curse of that horrible place took them all. Even though I escaped with my life, the curse hounds me still. Often greedy fools come to me and demand the map in the hopes that they can claim the ruin's riches. The pain grimace on the man's face spoke of the horrors that he had seen. I know better than anyone the terrible fate that awaits all who go to that accursed place. I would not wish it upon anyone, even men like the one you just chased off. However, the old man studied me thoughtfully. Exhaustion and pain were etched into the lines of his face, but a fierce resolve burned in the depths of his eyes. It is time. He reached into his coat and withdrew an old, rugged parchment. He held it out, offering it to me. Take it. We've only just met, but my adventurer's instinct is telling me that you are the one destined to have it. Of course, I can't guarantee you'll survive, or even if the tales of the treasure are true. However, I am tired. So very tired. I want to see this in the hands of one strong enough to bear it, and forget everything that has happened. With that, the old man turned and slowly staggered off toward the end of the pier. A cursed ruin and a hidden treasure. It all sounded so impossible. Still, something told me that I must pursue this mystery, wherever it will lead me. Oh, why did so many more missions just open up? Ah, shit. Alright. The map the old man had entrusted me pointed into a forest, deep inside of which were the cursed ruins where a treasure hid. By the time I arrived at the forest's edge, the day had already grown dark. As soon as I entered the forest, I felt like I was being watched. The feeling only grew as I followed the map towards the ruins. Suddenly my watchers revealed themselves. I held my lantern up and countless skeletons came into view, shuffling their way towards me through the trees. Some of them looked ancient, while others seemed quite fresh. I sensed a familiar evil emanating from the shambling corpses. This must be the curse that old man had mentioned. With every moment that passed, more skeletons gathered around me. I needed to destroy them before I was completely surrounded.
Fight!
Motherfucker should be breaking off into pieces after that.
Fight!
God damn it. Whoa! Rattle me bones, they say. How about you rattle this?
You're dead! KO! Fight! I can do this! One strike! KO!
How long I fought, I couldn't say. When the last skeleton fell, the sky was already glowing with the light of dawn. I blinked, realizing the ruins I sought were right before me. Exhausted, I dragged myself forward, following a flight of stairs downward into the earth. The stairs led down into a vast chamber. I cast my light around the room, revealing a terrifying mural covering the entirety of one massive wall. The mural showed a figure standing proudly atop a mountain of corpses, holding a massive axe with a single eye embedded within it. Countless bizarre symbols were carved everywhere, each of them emanating the same dark energy the skeletons above had. An altar loomed in the center of the chamber, surrounded by ancient vases. I tried lifting one and found it to be extremely heavy. I broke open the vase's seal to find it stuffed to the brim with jewels and gold. So many had come seeking this vast fortune that had paid for it with their lives. The old man had made it out alive, but he was forever changed. I began to feel the malevolent weight of this place press upon me. Thinking of the army of the dead and the disturbing mural, I knew now why the old man had said he just wanted to forget it all. I don't even know what that is. $5,000? Hell no. Ugh, way too much. Yeah. No. Hey, you. You're the one that was going toe-to-toe with the official here, aren't you? That was quite the gripping performance. The man who approached me appeared to be a peddler from Korea. He described himself as an avid spectator of martial arts, traveling the land in search of famous training halls as he sold his wares along the way. I'm not the fighting type myself, you see, which is why I have so much respect for those with power. I may not be one to judge, but you seem much stronger than the masters of the famous Dojang in my hometown. Actually, this might be interesting. Why don't you go a few rounds with them? The merchant told me about the Singongs, a family located just beyond the gates of Jirisan, his hometown in Korea. The current master of their Dojang was Han Myogun, hailed by those who knew him as a god among martial arts. His family had earned the trust of the king and were known as the greatest martial artists in the country. There's not a soul in the town that doesn't know of the family. They're the best of the best. It won't be easy to beat them, but your query no pushover either, so it should be just a good fight if you're up for it. Head on over. The merchant chuckled a bit as he bid farewell and went his way. After arriving in Jiraisan, I made my way to the Dojang the merchant had mentioned. Swinging Dojang, I was greeted by a pupil and told him the reason for my visit. Unfortunately, my master is currently away. He may be back this evening, but he will be leaving on a journey early in the morning. I'm afraid I cannot let a stranger into the Dojang without my master's permission. Perhaps you come back in about 10 days from now. I had other things to do, so I couldn't afford to stay in town long enough for his master to return. Detecting my disappointment, the pupil looked sympathetic. I can't let you into the Dojang, but many of the younger pupils are training outside. Since you come all this way, you're more than welcome to join them. Viewing this as a prime opportunity to learn more about the sewing style, I thanked the man and made my way over where the pupils were training. So I don't want to counter this one, because apparently that hurts me and them.
What?
Bro.
Fight!
And we got a serious upskirt on that one, didn't we? Don't do it. Well.
Too easy.
She asked for it. After completing my sparring matches with the Dojang pupils, I set off toward the inn. You there! Wait a minute! I hadn't realized there was someone nearby. Caught unaware, I took a defensive stance. There's no need to be alarmed. I am Sonya Han Myung, master of the Dojang. It seems he had been seeing my sparring matches with his pupils on his way back to the Dojang. You were quite an impressive fighter. Only my most advanced pupils were able to provide you a challenge. Am I right to assume you are a traveler? I told Mr. Hong, the merchant, and my reason for paying a visit to the Dojang. I'm gonna call him Mr. Hong. I apologize for not being able to spar with you myself. Should you come to the area again, please pay a visit to the Dojang. Also, having seen how capable you are, I have something to ask of you. Han Mo Young asked me to inform him if I ever saw or heard anything about his only daughter who had run away from home. He said her name was Sun Mina, and that she was proficient in the fighting techniques passed down for generations in the family. He even went as far as to say her skills surpassed his own. She ran away from home not long ago, and left a note saying she's headed west in search of the Sword of Salvation. I tried to stop her, but she's a stubborn one. Once she sets her mind on something, there's no convincing her otherwise. I don't know where she gets that foolishness from. He spoke harshly of his daughter, but the expression on his face showed how concerned he was for her well-being. I won't be able to rest easy until she's back here, so I can teach her a proper lesson. I realize it's unfair for me to ask this of someone I just met, but please help me find my daughter. Well, seems that mission is somewhere else, because it ain't here. By the time we had dispatched the malfested soldiers, Oswald was nowhere in sight. I believe we're done here. Groh was a formidable warrior. Likely he could have handled all of those enemies alone. What about your two friends, Dion and Natalie? They are dedicated members of our organization, my subordinates. After everything that happened, Groh seemed a little more open to questions. I asked him to tell me more about his group. The Albol's organization's purpose is to destroy those who have lost their humanity, outsiders. I am still unsure whether or not you are one of them. You have absorbed astral fissures, so normally I would not hesitate to dispose of you. But let us make a deal. Judging by your movements up to this point, you do not know where the astral fissures will appear, correct? We can provide you with that information. In return, you work with us to take care of the fissures. Know that your answer here will help me decide whether or not you are an outsider who must be destroyed. What say you? I believe it to be an attractive offer. Groh was spot on when he told me an astral fissure would appear in Kokoriana. Such information would be incredibly useful to me. At the moment, I had no way of knowing where to head next. After some consideration, I took Groh up on his offer. Your power will help us achieve our goal. However, if I detect any sign of treachery, I will cut you down where you stand. First, we must depart this desert. Once that has been accomplished, I will tell you where to find the next astral fissure. God, Chapter 2 does not end. I continued along the desert road for what felt like ages, no longer interested in the unchanging scenery around me. I quietly trudged forward with my eyes on the path ahead of me. Groh stopped abruptly and stared at the sand dune in front of us. I strained to see what was holding his attention, but I could see nothing. There are 8 outsiders just beyond the dune up ahead. There are 3 in the shadow of the rock on the right. I asked him how he knew that. When he turned around to face me, his left eye seemed to glow red for a moment. I will take care of those in the front. You handle the rest. Let's go.
Fight!
Oh, shit. Why were his legs green?
Fight!
Don't do this. hell? Oh my god. Those were similar to the Malfessa we fought in Kokuriana. Oswald most likely sent them to slow us down. I stole a glance at Groh as he looked down at the Malfessa he had defeated. His normally stoic, emotionless face was flushed with a tinge of anger. Perhaps it had something to do with that Malfessa-like aura he gave off earlier. How did you know about the outsiders? There was no need for you to know that, though I would imagine you aren't satisfied with that answer. Groh pointed to the lens he was wearing over his left eye. Just think of it as a feature of this lens. There was a strange feeling I had in the battle. You were just imagining things, however. Groh paused for a moment, then averted his gaze and muttered softly. When Oswald is involved, I do have a tendency to become emotional. I will admit that. If we stay any longer, it will play right into Oswald's hands. We should hurry.
Your soul surges in your body.
The wind does not bode us well. Pick up the pace. Hey, your breathing is ragged. Can you continue? I'm fine. Wise cannot fool me. You have been dragging your legs for some time. Enemies are approaching. It is okay to act strong, but in battle you must be strong. Ready yourself. It's been a long time, Groh. So you still haven't washed your hands of that pathetic little group of yours. What a fool. You don't know beauty when you see it. If you still insist on opposing Lord Oswald, I want to strip your flesh from your bones here and now. Try it. The ones who cannot escape death are traitors, like Oswald and you. Always barking, aren't you? Come, Voltro, show them the results of the experiments. Shut your mouth. Don't give me orders. I'm going to use the power Lord Oswald gave me to crush you.
Fight!
You cannot even hurt me. Walter was a large man, but the strength and stamina he showed was now unnatural. Now you know the power of an ascended warrior. This is the fruit of Lord Oswald's research. Lord Oswald told me about his experiments on you. Groh, he said you were a great help to him. Lord Oswald spoke highly of you. You were the first subject infested with malfestation to be able to retain this sense of self after all. I see. Now, Voltron, unleash your full power. Repay your debt to Lord Oswald. I would love to use your power too, Groh. I'm thrilled at the prospect of observing how our older experiments measure up against our latest masterpiece. This mission truly is a thing of beauty. Lord Oswald chose me. I have surpassed the human race. When I finally passed the test, he smiled. He gave me his love. I'll crush you with the power Lord Oswald gave me. Vulture charged with unbelievable speed. Instinctively, I closed my eyes and braced for impact. There was a dull thud, and Vulture cried out in confusion and dismay. I opened my eyes to see groh blocking Vulture with only his left arm. Surpass the human race? Is that what Oswald said? Groh's voice was dripping with murderous intent, and the hairs on my back of my neck stood up. Groh's left eye was glowing with a malicious blood-red light. Very well. You wish to know what it is like to surpass the human race? Then know this, outsider. It's late at night, I can't get this loud. Or maybe I can do something in post. In a flash, Vulture fell to the ground, spurting blood. Deliver this message to Oswald for me. Perform whatever experiments. Create whatever soldiers you like. It doesn't matter. All who stand in my way will die. No, this isn't beautiful at all. Daniel and his allies fled into the swirling winds of the growing sandstorm. Only once they had completely disappeared did Groh relax and the deadly aura he gave off abate. The sandstorm was worse than we imagined. We took cover in some ruins half buried in the sand. I couldn't get what had happened out of my mind, and found myself staring at Groh's left arm. If you have something to say, then say it. About Curtis. He was a friend. I killed him. There was nothing else to say. What is this power in your left arm? This is the power of an outsider. I became infected on a mission when I was injured in a fierce battle against one of them. Oswald treated the wound. Likely he is partially to blame for what has become of me. But know this, I will use every tool at my disposal to carry out my duties. Be it this power or you. Just what is it with Oswald? His experiments were always too risky, too dangerous, even back when he was one of us. After his betrayal, he formed the Qualifiers. They're a group of fanatics who worship the very ground he walks on. Oswald selects the human guinea pigs for his mad experiments from their numbers. Very well. We waited for the sandstorm to pass in silence. Though I grew more and more impatient with every wasted moment, Ghost sat motionless, his face betraying no emotion. This is nothing compared to the blizzards of my homeland. Even the fearsome Groh had a place he called home. That thought made him seem somehow less threatening and more human. So what happened to the outsider you picked up in Yangon? Why did you give me the medicine? I have no intention of answering. Just know it was not out of charity. I could barely believe that you were serious about carrying a bound outsider to some mountain temple. But I suppose that what I perceived as foolishness allowed you to save his life. It seemed that the sandstorm had finally died down. Let's go. There's a city not far from here. We'll speak about the astral fissure there. Well, I guess I'm halfway through the game at this point. I can't use this feature yet, huh? When I arrived at the trading house in Dahaka, merchants I recognized from the road repair job were there to greet me, but their expressions were troubled.
Every night I will save your life, and every night I will be with you. 'Cause every night I still lay awake and I dream.